I am Muhammad Ali, the greatest boxer of all time. The man who shook the world with my fists and my words. Born Cassius Marcellus Clay Jr. in 1942. I grew up in Louisville, Kentucky, where a stolen bicycle changed my life. Furious, I told a police officer that I wanted to whop the thief. That officer, who was also a boxing coach, told me I'd better learn how to fight first. And so, I stepped into the ring and never looked back. I trained relentlessly, sharpening my skills, mastering my footwork, and developing a style no one had seen before. Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. That was my philosophy: speed, precision, and power. By the age of 18, I had won an Olympic gold medal at the 1960 Rome Games, proving to the world that I was destined for greatness. At 22 years old, I faced the undefeated Sonny Liston for the heavyweight championship. The world doubted me. The press called me an underdog, a loudmouth, a joke. But I shocked them all. I moved like lightning, dodging Liston's powerful punches, frustrating the champion until he refused to leave his corner for the 7th round. I had won. I was the new heavyweight champion of the world. But I was more than just a boxer. I was a man of conviction. Shortly after my victory, I converted to Islam, renouncing my birth name and taking the name Muhammad Ali. The world resisted, but I stood firm. Then came my greatest fight, not in the ring, but against the US government. In 1967, I refused to be drafted into the Vietnam War, declaring, "I ain't got no quarrel with them Viet Cong." I was stripped of my title, banned from boxing, and faced 5 years in prison. Many turned against me, but I did not break. For 3.5 years, I was exiled from the sport I loved. But when I returned, I was stronger than ever. In 1974, I faced George Foreman in the legendary Rumble in the Jungle. Foreman was younger, stronger, and a brutal puncher. But I had a plan. The rope a dope. I let him tire himself out, absorbing his blows, before knocking him out in the 8th round. Once again, I was the champion of the world. Then came my third and most grueling fight against Joe Frazier, the Thriller, in Manila. We fought for 14 brutal rounds in the sweltering heat, pushing each other to the brink of collapse. It was the toughest battle of my life, but I emerged victorious, proving once and for all that I was the greatest. I fought until 1981, but the years in the ring took their toll. Soon after retiring, I was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease, but I did not let it define me. I became a global ambassador for peace, humanitarian efforts, and civil rights. In 1996, despite my illness, I carried the Olympic torch at the Atlanta Games, a moment that moved the world. I am Muhammad Ali, the fighter who defied the odds, the man who stood for his beliefs, the champion who inspired generations. I shook up the world, and my legacy will live forever.